Hi, everybody, and hello, my Cancer people out there in the zodiac. My name is Kerri Mubarak, and this is your reading for the month of June. So I am really excited about sharing with you what's happening. I've been getting a lot of questions about the Pluto, Saturn conjunct and what's happening with that. So I'll give you a little tidbit about that. But I did a lunar look for everybody this go around, and I was definitely feeling the Gemini push pull yin yang thing going on, and so I decided that the reading would come from Holitska's I Ching deck, which requires us to pull just two cards and then to read those two cards and the changing lines in each card to give us some guidance. So I'll go ahead and get started. For those of you who would like your own reading, I do a new moon view and a full moon view that will be on this channel. So you can take a look at that if you want to know more about how the moon is affecting you and how the moon is affecting all of us. So you can check back in on this channel for that. But right now I'm going to share with you how that's affecting you, Cancer, right now. All right, so in the 12th and the 6th house, the 12th and 6th houses are where the moon are showing up for you, Cancer, this time. In the 12th house at the beginning of the month and then toward the middle of the month when the full moon comes in, it's going to give you another dose of that. So you're going to be looking at 12th house and 6th house. Let me explain. So the 12th house is where things are hidden, okay? And the moon's energy is really looking at the ego. It's shining a light on our ego and moving us past egoistic ways. The egoistic ways are becoming things of the past. We've spent quite a bit of time, and I don't need to explain to you how egotistical we have become as a people. Um, the human race has been very selfish in the past, I don't know, a few hundred years. And so now we've made it to the new millennium. The new millennium brings with it new things. And one of the new things that it's bringing in is a different sort of mindset where we are not overly focused on ourselves. It doesn't mean you can't focus on yourself. Self is important. You have to take care of yourself. But when we overindulge in self and become selfish, is when we all suffer, basically. And so now this energy is asking for us to move past our selfish ways and start to look at how who we are becomes an inspiration for other people to grow and to move to another level, to vibrate at another frequency that is more aligned with who we are and our purpose. So this is a good thing. So the 12th house, just to get a little deeper, the first part of the month is when the new moon comes in. And so the focus is on things that are hidden because the 12th house holds things that we hide. And right now, or at least during the beginning of the month, the moon and the sun in Gemini and also Mercury are going to be in the 12th house for you. So communication may be a little more difficult for you. You may not feel like you're shining as much as you want to shine. But there's a reason for that. And the reason is that the moon, as well as the Pluto energy, is asking you to look deep within yourself to find out if there are any hidden agendas that you have going on. The hidden agendas are those little things that we're doing, what we really want to do, but we're not doing that because we're probably some kind of a way judging what our natural thoughts and what our natural propensities are. They want you to look at your natural propensity. They want you to look at who it is that you really are. Um, Sometimes when we're hiding things, we end up hiding our best self. And our best self is our authentic self. And so when you do that, it's like you're doing it to protect your ego. You know, you hide the certain aspect of yourself because you're trying to protect yourself. And Cancer, you all are represented by the crab. The crab has a hard outer shell, but its insides are kind of, soft and delicious. But that hard outer shell is like your protection. It protects you. Um, so the moon is asking you to look at that, to pay attention to that, and to see how you kind of hiding yourself behind your shell is is keeping your authenticity in shadow. You don't want to keep your authenticity in shadow, because then the people that you're going to be working with and connecting with won't feel the connection. They won't feel that they won't feel like they want to even connect with you, because they're not sure if they can trust you. And it's not that you're not trustworthy, it's just that you're hiding probably the best part of yourself. And people sense that. People sense that when that happens. So again, going to the middle part of the month when the full moon comes in, that's when the focus is on the House of Health and Human Services, which is 6. So any healing work, if you're a nurse, a doctor, if you are serving people in any kind of way, if you provide services primarily to people in your work, then that part, that humanitarian part, that part that's giving to help others on behalf of others and for the sake of others, is being activated by the full moon. Taking in consideration that during the first part of the month, you're looking at your own hidden agendas, you're looking at your own authenticity, you're looking at how you're keeping yourself from being open to other people because you're protecting your ego in some kind of way. Well, as you move into the middle part of the month and toward the latter part of the month, that energy shifts, and now you're working with people who need that information, who need the real you to show up for them, so that they will know what to do, so that they can rise to another level, and so that they can stretch themselves in the way that they need to. So you definitely want to come out of the shadow. You want to take off that mask of insecurity. Whatever your insecurities are, trust and believe somebody else has the same insecurities, and other people have other insecurities. And if you took them all and put them in a pile in the middle of the floor, you'd be trying to get your own insecurity back, because you don't want to have to deal with with what some other people have to deal with. So whatever you're feeling like, not your best, wherever your ego has been bruised or hurt, pay attention to that. Be willing to go to that place of pain and allow it to be a reason for healing. Because it is that's what it's there for. It's there to heal you in the long run. And in this case, once you heal that stuff that you're keeping inside, it's going to be such a benefit to other people around you, and you're going to see how that's going to have a major effect in your life. Um, so let's see. It's there's some leadership things involved, of course. Here, I'm definitely feeling leadership for you all, and it comes from the healing that you are doing during the month of June. So let's take a little deeper look. As I said, I was really feeling this Gemini dualistic nature, and so this particular deck of cards, which is the Holiska I Ching deck, utilizes the energy of dualism. There's like two cards. You pull two cards, and the first card represents the message, and then the second card reads the changes in the lines, and then from that you get your deeper meaning, or your deeper I call it the deeper still connection. Um, so that's how this deck is read. So I was moved to work with this one because of the fact that it allows that kind of juxtaposition of one thing and another thing, and then how those things blend together for us during the Gemini season. We all need to know how to blend in Gemini season, that's for sure. All right, so the first card that I pulled is the number 7 for you, lucky number 7, and then number 58. So what Holiska recommends is that we read from the passage, and I hope I have not, what have I done with that? Oh, here it is, it's underneath me. Sorry about that. So we're going to read the main passage, or the main message for number 7, and then we're going to come back and look at these changing lines, and then we're going to see what the deeper message is for you this month, Cancer. Okay? Just a sidebar. I Ching traditionally was done with yarrow sticks, and then it moved to coins, and now we have, with the technology of paper and booklets and things like that, we now have I Ching cards, and so it's a little bit different methodology in retrieving the answer, but still, to me, a very effective method. If you would like to get an I Ching reading for other reasons, I do offer those. I do yarrow, I do coins, and I do cards. It's up to you which one you want. All right, so number seven. Number seven. Number seven talks about collective force. Remember that number six when you're looking at what you're doing for humanity and what you're doing for others? Well, here we go. Passage seven, collective force. It's helping you get your collective together. It's helping you to get your army behind you. Probably been flying solo, Cancer people, for a while. There's strength in numbers. So I will read this for you. Please forgive me if I'm not reading, if I'm reading slow, because this writing and the font in this book is extremely small, and I don't have my glasses. So I'll do my best. The struggle against an external opponent or a part of yourself always involves an element of risk. So we're looking outside of ourselves and inside of ourselves. First part of the month inside, last part of the month outside. So very appropriate. If you want to win, then you have to deploy all your strength as any good commander would do. Again, we're going back to leadership and where leadership falls into this for you. So we're definitely getting leadership and being a commander for you, Cancer people. So victory requires iron discipline, good perspective, and strategic skill. Perseverance and a sense of justice are prerequisites for maintaining control of the situation. Keep in mind the power of the human feeling and needs. Keep in mind the power of human feelings and needs, excuse me. Remain courageous and understanding, and through this, foster a sense of unity among your allies. First of all, you should scrupulously and impartially ascertain whether the struggle is just and absolutely necessary. Perhaps the same outcome could be achieved with patience and frankness. So there's a few key words that popped up for me in this reading for you. One is commander, leadership, what leadership requires. And leadership requires discipline, it says. It also requires some authenticity for you, according to the moon and the moon energy. So we want to look at those two things. The other thing that jumped out for me was being courageous and understanding, also patience and frankness. So being upfront, not hiding. Again, we're talking about how, being frank and being upfront means being frank with yourself as well. So if you're having these inauthenticities going on inside of you, then you want to address those first, because you're going to need to be able to speak the truth and the deep truth, not just like the surface truth, the deep truth. And that's what's really going to endear you to other people. All right, so I'm looking ahead at the second card, which is 58. Holistica recommends not to read the second passage, but to look at the changing lines and then read those changing lines in the first passage. So there's a changing line in number 1, number 2, no change, number 3, no change. We have a change in 4, and we have a change in 5. So 1, 4, and 5 are the lines that we're going to read to give you a little, to go a little deeper, okay? So some of this may resonate with, some of these lines may resonate with some of you. Some of these lines may resonate with others of you. Some of you, it may resonate. All three of them may resonate. Line 1 says, there should be good grounds for taking up arms. There's a good reason to go into battle with somebody or for yourself. Because remember, it said in the beginning passage, it says the struggle against an external opponent or a part of yourself involves risk. So whether this battle is internal or whether you perceive yourself to be battling on the external part. So whether it's at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month for you, you some of you may get that in different places. It may be a struggle for you to go internally and deal with your authentic self, and for others of you, the struggle may come in garnering the energy and the strength from other people. But either way it goes, um, you have to have a good reason to go into battle, and these are good reasons. Once you have made the decision, you should be disciplined and carry out the resolve with all your might. Failure threatens through indecision. So, any good commander or any good leader has to be able to make decisions. Being able to make decisions requires discipline because then you have to make sure that that is carried out. So, if any of you are in business for yourself, or if you're dealing with family where there's discipline issues, particularly those of you who have small children can really test your ability to make a decision and stick to it, and then require everybody else to stick to it too. Any of those areas, if you're in any of those areas, whether it's at work or it's at home, you still have to take that in consideration. So, line 4, it says, it is a hopeless conflict in a hopeless conflict, excuse me, it is a sign of courage and strength to pull back instead of destroying self and family in a senseless battle. So I'm getting again that there's some conflict going on here, and not just conflict. The conflict is not there to just be conflict to cause you to kind of step away and say, forget this, I'm not dealing with this. It really is about getting people, it's really about rallying people. It's really about getting people to come over to maybe to your side of thinking or to a different side of thinking. So it really is about rallying the troops. It's not about going to war, so to speak. You're trying to go to war with somebody, not against somebody. And this is what I'm feeling and sensing from this. Line 5 says, don't be afraid of the defense of a just cause, but you require an experienced advisor to prevent the struggle from degenerating into senseless aggression. So, um, I'm definitely feeling for you, Cancer people, right now that there are some internal conflicts that may be causing the external conflicts. There's internal conflicts causing the external conflicts. Again, if this is dealing with your family, coworkers, if you are in a leadership position on your job, this could be this could be where this is being affected. I'm not feeling so much that it's family because of the astrological energies that are not focused on the fourth house. They're sixth house and 12th house. So I really am getting that this is could be an internal struggle with you, but that ultimately it's the people outside of you who need to hear what that is. There's an element of healing that's taking place here, and that healing is going to bring you to a place of leadership ultimately. And so this is preparation. This is a part of the preparation for the leadership that you are stepping into now. Definitely a time of leadership, and whatever's happening with the moon at the beginning of June and at the end of June or middle of June into the end of June is definitely getting you ready for that. It's getting you ready for that. So if you're experiencing battles at home or at work, pay close attention to it. Look at where it is triggering issues centered around ego. The I Ching is recommending that when if you know, it's like you got to pick your battles. If it's not worth the fight, pull back. Pull back. If pulling back wakes up issues around your ego, deal with the ego. Deal with the ego. Don't not pull back when you need to. You know what I'm saying? Pull back. Go deal with your feelings. Go lick your wounds. You know, lick them and make them better. Find the time to be with yourself, and really deal with the truth around it, and be willing to share that truth with other people, because ultimately that's where this is heading. It's a different kind of leadership. There's a different face of leadership. We are looking at leadership as we have seen leadership in the past. That's been our example. Right now, leadership is not showing a good example. And so now this is a new brand of leadership that comes from being authentic, from being real, from not hiding anything from yourself, not hiding things from others. Now, we're not talking about spreading your business on Facebook or social media. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is being earnest, being straightforward, first of all, with yourself, so that you can make good decisions for yourself, and then you can help other people learn how to make good decisions for themselves. So it's a win-win situation, but there's it takes time. It takes steps. There's steps involved. So my recommendation for you all Cancer people is to get in touch with your moon. If you would like a new moon or a full moon view reading during the beginning and the middle of the month, I can do those personal readings for you. I will also be back here on this channel to give you a general new moon and full moon view for your element. So Cancer, you all are the water element, so I'll be giving new moon and full moon views for water. For those people who are water signs, Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpios. But if you want to know what your new moon or full moon view is for you personally, where we tie in the astrology and the use of the oracle readings for you, we can get a little deeper with that. You can always reach out to me to get that done at info@wooingnature.life. Okay, hope this is good for you. Hope this is something that you can use, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care and have a great month.